Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. And my microphone has just fallen off something. Hang on a second.
What have you done, Lee? What the fuck
I
have you
don't
done?
know.
You mean the actual whole stand has come off?
Yeah, dude.
That's because you've been fucking faffing.
No, I haven't moved this.
It must be your little furry warrior. Is your pussy in the room?
I can't talk, Ollie.
You can't talk. So right now we should really probably restart the show. Lee's mic has decided to give up the ghost and just claps on the table, which I think we'll restart, Lee.
Remember in this situation, people, lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Okay, have you fixed it?
Almost.
Almost.
I'm just tightening it up now, you see.
Yeah, I see.
It just needs like a couple more. Yeah, that's it.
You got it. You got it in. Is it there? Have we got a stiff mic?
See, like one of those like paid shills, like Joe Rogan or someone like that, would restart the podcast like right now. But like that's not us.
You can't be asked, can you?
Not really. No. Welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. How are you?
Well, apart from feeling like someone has
Jizzed in your eye.
masturbated in my eye. I don't know I don't actually know what is in my eye, but something's been in my eye for like a day and a bit now.
Someone.
It's something very small. It's just like I can't even see what it is. It's just there.
Yeah.
I think it might be a bit of like stubble.
Poo. Oh,
Is that your pussy?
no.
Is it mine?
Might be my stomach. I'm quite
The
hungry.
fuck is going on with this podcast, Lee? I just heard it. I just heard a cat. Could be mine. Can't see it. Fuck him. Or her.
So don't worry about cat purrs. Cat purrs we can, like we ain't a problem we can't fix because we can do it in the mix. It's funny you should mention your eye before we get on, because if people want to see what's wrong with your eye, usually they've been going over to YouTube. And for the rest of this week, our videos will be on YouTube, but we have had, let's just say we have issues with being seen. Like, I don't feel seen on YouTube. And we've decided to fuck them off. The next 3 episodes are going to go up on YouTube. Everything else is going to go up on Rumble. There will be teething problems on Rumble. I do believe one of the episodes you can't watch at the minute of the new ones we put up on Rumble, which I think might be my fault, might not be my fault. I don't really know.
But it's not down to censorship.
But it's not down to censorship. Also, we had the funny thing is we don't actually we don't actually monetize YouTube, but at some point, hopefully, we will be monetizing our video content as well. That's the aim of the game for these things. It was the reason we changed our intro, because sometimes you can weird things happen with royalty free music. Some music says we're royalty free, then it turns out that those people have stolen the music off somebody else, uploaded it somewhere, and it was never royalty free in the begin with. And you kind of play a little bit of a dangerous game when it comes to royalty free music. So that's when I had the great idea of like, I'll just get like one of my friend's band songs we can get permission from the artist. Hey presto, we've got our own intro. YouTube has chosen, and I say YouTube has chosen because I have emailed YouTube to say, look, we've got permission from the band to use this song. I've then included the website of the band so they can get in touch with them if they want to. The songwriter and rights holder of that song also emailed the record label, which doesn't own the copyright to their song, and said, we've given permission to this podcast to use this song. What are you playing at? And YouTube will still not lift any of the copyright bollocks off our episodes. So just the way we go on YouTube, even if we monetize our channel, we still won't earn anything off it because it'll go to a record company that don't even own our intro. What a fucked up situation that is. So that was one of the reasons, as well as not being seen by people. YouTube did this whole thing the other day saying how they were going to allow people back on the platform that weren't on the platform. It was all bullshit. I'm sure some people have come back on that weren't there. Maybe there's a Milo and stuff like that. But immediately, Alex Jones set a channel up and was banned immediately. Nick Fuentes put a channel up, was banned immediately before he'd even put a video up, I don't think. So YouTube will YouTube, and we just don't want to be a part of it, being a YouTube anymore.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening, people. We're going to Rumble, which really does seem, for video, the home of conspiracy kind of thing. Yeah,
I think it's just alternative content. Because I don't think it's like the home of conspiracy theory content was BitChute, but it's fucked and it's really difficult to use, and you can't get it in the UK anymore. Whereas the Rumble's legit. There's a lot of gaming stuff on Rumble. There's a lot of politics stuff on Rumble. It's not necessarily that it's the home of conspiracy theories. It's a YouTube alternative that doesn't quite have the same draconian policies as YouTube. So I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing how we grow on YouTube. That means that we
Rumble.
will discuss. We will discuss when we're going to do another sort of live episode, and when we do the live episode, it will be exclusive to Rumble.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to say a big thank you to all the new patrons that have joined over the past few days, which is fucking wild. Thank you guys. It means a lot. But yeah, you will get a live thingamajig, but it will be Rumble. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on Rumble. On the Patreon front, before we get into the episode, I just want to remind everybody, or maybe some people haven't heard yet, we have reduced our Patreon, given the current times and issues and stuff people haven't. I get it. Not everyone wants to pay 1 million subscriptions. It's but by the time you add your Netflix on top of your Spotify, on top of your this, on top of your that, next thing is you're paying what we used to pay in normal, the old days of television before streaming services. We realize things are difficult for people. The patron's never really been about a money making escapade. It's
ad
just
free. Ad free.
Yeah, but it's always been more about support. It's great to get some support from you. It's great to have some money that comes in that helps do things like pay for new equipment and stuff like that we need to do the show with. So that's kind of why we thought, right, we'll drop it down to $2.99, makes it more accessible for people. And if you really hate the adverts, now there is a really easy, low cost option for you to do so. That being said, Ollie, I don't know how long we're going to be able to continue making content in the UK.
Yeah, it kind of that's the worrying thing, isn't it, with this? Well, not just podcasts. I mean, we're not that selfish. But yeah, digital ID seems to be on the horizon. and I'm hoping we can stop it. I'm getting people saying it's never going to happen. I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure either, Ollie. And I'm also not so sure what guise it's going to come in. Why don't you play a video of our glorious leader, Comrade Starmer, talking about this on his speech at the London 2025 conference or whatever it was?
Not a problem. Here we go.
Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. Otherwise, it undermines trust, undermines people's faith that we're on their side, and their belief that the state can and will work for them. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes.
So he's introducing, Lee, a free digital ID that is mandatory for you to work in the UK.
Mm-hmm. George, I think is really interesting is the part where he turned around and he said that decent pragmatic people, or however he put it, were addressing their concerns. So I really want to know who Keir Starmer was talking about, because the last time I checked, anyone that was worried about immigration and worried about illegal immigrants coming into the UK and work were far-right extremists. So has he realised that maybe the concerns of those people that aren't coming from far-right extremists, is that a thing? Or is it simply the fact that it's now convenient to address a large portion of the population? I'm gonna give myself a fucking conspiracy badge for this, because I've said for a long time, I think maybe even since before we've been covering this sort of stuff on the podcast, that the immigration crisis in the UK and the illegal immigration crisis in the UK was merely a vessel towards forcing in a digital ID system.
Yeah, we've said that for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I think we've been putting that on the podcast now for
A long
year.
time. Yeah, probably. Since the conception, I think, of the Daily Conspiracy Podcast, it's been there or thereabouts. I can't stop. Like I've watched a few. I'm not going to pull up just the news reports of it, but I love V for Vendetta. I think it's one of the best.
I need to rewatch that.
Dystopian. Fuck me. It's even the fact it comes after a virus and everything. It's fucking. Well, there's something about it. But I'm watching just so if anyone that hasn't watched V for Vendetta, go watch it. It's fucking ace. British dystopia at its best, up there with fucking 1984 in my eyes. But it does that whole kind of RoboCop thing where they'll cut away to a news article or something of the time. And I'm watching news articles today and yesterday talk about this digital ID system. Any one of those news items, could have been lifted from what was on the BBC yesterday and just inserted in V for Vendetta, and you wouldn't notice.
Really? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just it's like what you were showing the other day. Remember what you were showing the other day with the I Am Legend clip with the
yes,
the other one. Yeah, it's just they just interchangeable.
So with this digital ID, because I had an argument the other day about this, like with a mate of mine. He says, "Well, surely this is gonna. There's some points to this that could really help out what's going on in the UK now. That's the fucking big sell.
Well, it's also bullshit, Ollie.
I know,
Because
but how do you think everybody? Because a lot of people that I spoke to switched onto this. They know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I think there will be people out there, quite a lot of them, that think this is a great idea.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ollie, 20 million people didn't vote in the last elections in the UK. 20 odd million. Yeah. Now, I don't believe that 20 million people didn't vote in the election because they were like disenfranchised or with politics, or I'm sure some people were disenfranchised with politics, or they didn't know where to put a vote, that type of thing. The fact is, though, that they didn't care enough to do anything about it. So it's even if you don't think your party can win, for instance, like vote, you might take some seats away. If some of those 20 million people would have voted for fucking Reform, Tories, any of them, Green Party, wherever you want, if you can get enough people to vote in those places, you take seats away eventually. So Labour wouldn't have had such a majority as they have. And those are the people that see this and go, oh, digital ID. Anyway. And that's the problem. We have in the realm of like conspiracy and alternative media and stuff like that, we have this unfortunate habit of thinking our numbers are larger than they are. It's the same as I watched a really good breakdown of the Tommy Robinson rally the other day, and he took he did it all like well too. There's no, I don't think there's much arguing with it. He took like the square footage of the largest or like the biggest crowd shots he could find. Then ran them through a program that says, right, in a large scale mass protest, it's like 3 people per square. Well, I can't come up with the square footage anyway, but they have 3 people per a certain measurement. And his measurements of looking at that part to the other part, he said, obviously they said there'll be some overspill onto side streets as well, so we need to take that into account. But he worked it out as in that photograph there was about 110,000 people, which means that the official number from the Met Police of 150,000 people is probably about right.
Really?
Yeah. And that's still a lot of people. It's a lot of people to get somewhere to go and do something. But we do tend to think that there's more of us than there are, and that goes the same because let's face it, right? We are, and anyone listening to this podcast, I wouldn't say we are like a far right extremist podcast, but we're definitely we're further right than center on most issues. Yeah,
agreed.
But the thing is, most people exist in the middle. So it doesn't matter whether you're a fucking furry that thinks 3-year-olds should be able to transition, or whether you're some far right thug that thinks anybody that's fucking like has a skin color with slight more pigment more than fucking pure brilliant white should be deported and sent to like buttfuck fucking nowhere away from them. The further you get towards either of those things is the further you get away from most people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it comes to digital ID, that's really what we've got to worry about is not what we think, what most people think. Now, what I will say is, I think since COVID, more people have drifted from the middle ground. And at least I don't think they've gone too far either side, but the middle is definitely like necessary. The middle's still there, but it's squashed out and dispersed.
It's funny you should mention COVID. I have
Because I always do.
No, 5 years ago, Tony Blair talks about. I've got a clip of Tony Blair talking about digital ID to prove disease status in the future.
Yeah, I've seen.
Should we bring this on?
Yeah, bring it up, mate.
Good old Tony fucking Blair.
Who, if we're honest, might be the Antichrist.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You can create a digital ID today that is much more easily protected, so you can deal with a lot of the privacy and surveillance issues that worry people. But it's a natural evolution of the way that we're going to use technology in any event to transact daily life. And this COVID crisis gives an additional reason for doing that. Because, look, I could be wrong about this, but when I look at, for example, how you restart some businesses, how you restart international travel, I think people's disease status, for example, have they been tested? What is the result of that test? Have they had the disease? Do they have the disease? I think unless you're able to record some of this data in a way that people can use, it's going to be difficult to go back to anything like a near normal in things like transport. So if you're going to start international travel again, how do you do that unless people can be easily tested and have some record of that test?
And you see, this is where we can talk about your mate, Ollie. Because in some ways, your mate's right. And we already have digital ID systems. Like, I used a digital ID today when I went into Tesco supermarket. Mm-hmm. I scanned my Tesco digital ID, and that allowed me to do my shopping on my Tesco app, which means I get my Tesco points every month for money off shopping. It means when I got to the counter, I scanned my shopping through without having to go to the cashier. I paid for it with my bank card, and I left the store. When I went to the another shop this afternoon, I used my digital ID for the Co-op branch when I was in there to get my points for that. The problem's not digital ID. The problem's government. We
Humans.
have, if you know, government. We log into.
They're not humans.
Well, no. I mean, obviously the Tesco group are humans as well. That's why the human analogy doesn't work well. But if you play Xbox Live, if you've got Steam, everyone loves fucking Steam. But what do you do when you want to play your games? You log in with your digital ID on Steam, which has your email address tied to it, your bank account details tied to it, your home address tied to it. Digital ID isn't anything new. The problem is we don't trust government. And the sooner more people fall in that line, because it's the fact of like, you will get people going, yeah, but you've already got a digital ID. What about your Netflix account? And they are right. But they're not finishing the question right. They're not finishing the question by saying, so why do you trust Netflix more than your own government?
Mm.
And the fact is, because Netflix only want my money. That's all Netflix want off me. What do the government want off me? We want my privacy.
I think your fucking soul.
Well, maybe. But yeah, that's the real issue here is, the issue with society as a whole now is our, rightful distrust in institutions.
That petition's nearly 2.5 fucking million.
Mm-hmm. Again, though, 20 million people didn't vote.
True.
But it's a lot. I mean, it's a huge amount for a petition. Huge amount.
Well, if we get into the dangers of it, I mean, you would, which I had no idea. What's the country that's just been debanked?
I've got a little clip I can play for you about that, mate. It was
bring it on.
Vietnam, it's only a minute or so. But yeah, this is really interesting because
So they just introduced digital ID in Vietnam, have they?
I don't know how long Vietnam has had a digital ID, but they do have a digital ID that's tied to their banking apps and things like that. I take it it's only just been introduced because this has happened. But let's listen to what this handsome bald fella has to say about it.
Why is Vietnam the testing ground for the new banking order? Well, recently, Vietnam imposed a requirement for a digital ID, including a biometric scan of everyone in order to have a bank account. And what they did to enforce this is they closed 86 million bank accounts and seized all of the assets in those accounts. So the owners of those accounts have no ability to do banking or access their funds because they chose not to sacrifice their privacy and submit to this biometric surveillance tracking mechanism. Well, this is not something that is going to stay in Vietnam. This is a test because if we look at, for example, what's going on with the European Central Bank and digital ID initiative in Europe, as well as the Real ID and the CBDC system FedNow being imposed in the United States, we can see that it is coming to us as well. So what are you going to do about it?
Jesus.
So that
86
million people. 86 million bank accounts. So obviously, some people would have multiple bank accounts. That would happen.
What's the fucking population of Vietnam?
I don't know. Let's find out.
That's a fucking lot of people, that. All resisting. And how long can they fucking resist for? You know, do they have...
101 million.
Oh, shit.
101 million. And so, again, we have to go with, like, obviously some people will have more than one bank account. But that is still that's still probably over half their population. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, oddly enough, the reason I found out about this was I saw a clip of LBC. That's a radio station in the UK to which my friend Ben, which listens to the podcast, will constantly tell me is a balanced station, and I will constantly disagree with it. Just because they got one old right-wing guy on there doesn't mean it's balanced.
It's also got one fucking massive bell end on there.
Oh yeah, like one massive fucking left-wing bell end. That's like he's like a Pokemon. Like he's found his ultimate form. Like he can't become any more fucking left-wing than he is. But anyway, James O'Brien we're talking about. Cunt. The were we blocked by James O'Brien? I think we were, weren't we?
Yeah, I think we were.
Yeah, good. I like that.
That's an achievement.
Fucking right, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So LBC, that's where it was. A caller brought up Vietnam to one of the guys that's on LBC, and the LBC guy turned around and said, "Yeah, but they're a communist country. That wouldn't happen in the UK." And it's not fucking right. I hope it doesn't happen in the UK, and I think it would be easier to happen in a country which is a full-on communist country. However, as soon as the trucker strikes started happening in Canada, Trudeau was fucking freezing bank accounts all over the place. So if you want to turn around and say, "Oh, Vietnam's a communist country, it wouldn't happen in the UK," well, it happened in Canada. And there's not a lot. I don't think there's a lot difference in levels of liberalism between the Labour Party and the faux liberalism, whatever this fucking monster is that the left wing politics has turned into. I don't think there's a huge difference between Keir Starmer and Trudeau's Canada. I know Trudeau isn't the premier there now, but he was at the time.
I think the guy that's in at the minute is just as much of a bell end, apparently.
Oh yeah. He's full of the he's there like he's yeah.
Which
But
is
look,
surprising that you get one bell end in, then you get another bell end in. You know, it's
well, no, he stepped down, didn't he? But the
Oh,
problem
yeah.
was, but this goes back to the whole point in we need to accept that we're lower in numbers than we think we are, because they had the chance. Canada had their chance to get rid of Trudeau, and they voted him back in. So
did they though? Did they vote him back?
Yeah,
in,
I think
or-
they did. I don't think and this is going to upset people a little bit. I don't think voting is as rigged as some people like to try and think of it is. I think some of the idea of politics and votes being rigged is a little bit of nihilism, because it's either nihilism or it's the same way as it's. I'm going to upset everybody here. I'm going to upset the people that think voting is fake. I'm going to upset the people that
just
think
say it. Just say it. Come on.
that think the globe is fake. But no, right, that's the best way to put it. It's either nihilism or it's the same as the anti-science people, because you get some people which are just full on like big pharma's bullshit, science is bullshit. But the thing is, you've got nothing to replace it with. Do you know what I mean? If you destroy in your mind, if you destroy every expert, it's really easy to be an expert, because you've essentially, if you take all the experts out and people turn around and say, yeah, but what's an expert? Well, maybe somebody that studied something for their entire fucking life. If you take all the experts out, you can be your own expert with no knowledge. I think that's kind of what happens with voting. People go, well, there's no point in voting, because if you think voting's rigged, that means you don't have to go to the effort of paying any attention to politics.
Yeah, please vote, people.
Oh yeah, no, well that's the thing. Because in the same breath, the same people that turn around and say, yeah, well, fucking voting's rigged, well then a portion of those people will be going, yeah, Trump. And you go, well, how the fuck do you think he got in? He got in with votes.
So, can I just go back to, because I can't get my head around this. So, Vietnam, 86 million people
Bank accounts
have had 86 million bank accounts have been shut the fuck down.
Yeah, with the assets seized.
Right. So, these people have no money. I mean, they might have some under the mattress. I don't know. The terrifying thing is we seem to be on like the fucking nipple end of a digital currency. So when you've got digital
this
ID,
is it. Yeah, this is the problem.
You can't fucking live.
Well, no, it's not that. The digital currency is the problem, because like you can't because that can then be wrapped into the digital ID. This is where the rubber meets the road, and this is what more people need to understand, is that once you've got your government digital ID, and then all of a sudden your fucking bank details are fucking connected to it, and then your fucking NHS app is connected to it, your driving license is connected to it, and everything's in this one little thing. Don't get me wrong, this will not happen overnight. It will not happen overnight. It will take years. But the problem is that
Yeah, and I think when it say if it does come, if it does pass, and people, you know, we fight against it, but we lose. I think it'll come in then even for a year, maybe even a little bit longer. People are like, see, no big deal, nothing much going on with this. That's how it'll be.
I'll stand by it.
Say that again, mate.
I stand by this. I'm ever more convinced, especially now we're getting towards the digital ID thing. I know this one's controversial. I know this upsets some people as well.
You really want to upset some people today, don't you?
Clearly. I really fall on the fence now when it comes to whether like COVID was actually a virus. I really fall on the fence with it. And when I say I'm on the fence with it, I mean like my shoelace is stuck. I'm all the way over the fence, but just my shoelace is stuck on the fence. I think COVID was a way on a international level to put the technological infrastructure in for the Western digital credit system.
It was a beta test.
No. But it wasn't a beta test by any stretch of the imagination. It was to put the infrastructure in. All that stuff we saw about the idea of scanning QR codes to get in buildings, to the even down to ULEZ zones and stuff like that. I think this is all miniature blocks of the same plan. Mm-hmm. That when you just stick them all together, all of a sudden you've got a system where people need to scan themselves into shops, scan themselves out of shops, scan themselves into public areas, have certain areas that they can't go to, certain areas that they have to stay in. That's when you get your 15-minute city. I think the infrastructure was that's vast to do something like that. The same as track and trace. People go, oh, track and trace was a waste. I don't think it was a waste. I think the reason it didn't work for tracking the virus is because it was never meant to track the virus anyway. It was meant to track masses of people using the same app. How close are you to him?
That's what I meant by a beta test.
Well, kind of, but that suggests that it was actually being tested. I don't think it was tested. I think it was being installed.
It's fucking wild, isn't it? Like, these... COVID has seen that the pandemic seems to have primed a lot of things. That is,
I look at the bullshit from Blair, Ollie.
Well, yeah, but mate, his fucking son, Ewan Blair, is company found. Multiverse.
Oh my god, that could be the best comedy show anyone's ever made.
What's that?
It'd just be called You and Blair. But what it would be is, it would be me. I'd be the you part of it. And it'd just be me and like me and Tony Blair become like unlikely pals. And we're in place like, no, Tony, you can't euthanize all these people. He's like, oh, but if we can build a car park through it. It's like, no, you can't do it. It's nasty.
Yeah. So people, the brick card will run on an app made by Multiverse, a multinational company founded by Ewan fucking Blair. His shares are about 375 million.
That's a lot of shares. It's a lot of money.
It's just like clockwork. It's like the planning of this thing. Keeping the fucking family, people.
Yeah.
There's evilness going on right now.
I see. Do you know what, mate?
No, there is.
In some ways, I think we need to stop it with the evil thing.
Well, what are they then? Just control freaks?
Yeah.
Just control freaks that want lots of money?
I think I think control freaks that want a lot of money, that want a lot of control. Because when you've got money and you've got power, then what's the only other power you can get is other people's freedom.
So is that not evilness?
No, because it's looking after yourself. And it's at other people's expense. It's not nice.
So why can't they just fucking have a few holidays, a few trips around the world on their yacht? Be happy at that.
Right. Have you ever been fishing?
Funny enough, yeah, I have.
Right. Do you think the fish that were in that pond, when you yanked one of them out through a hook in their mouth, then butchered them at the side of their home?
I didn't butcher them.
And threw them in a bucket waiting to take them home and roast them.
No, put them back, mate.
That's just gay. But do you think, like, is that evil?
I mean, looking at it now, probably evil because I left a hole in the mouth. You know, a little tiny.
I mean, it's definitely not nice, yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like, evil is such a subjective thing. In this situation, I think there's pure forms. If we want to look at evil as a thing, I think the purest form of evil would just be hurting someone for your own self gratification. I don't believe these people are necessarily doing it for a individual selfish reason. They might be doing it for a selfish reason of the collective, but then can you have evil for a collective because your evil to that collective is virtue to the other one? That's it's super subjective.
I'll tell you something though. I mean, and I know we're talking about people fighting against it. I don't see any way. So my dad said last night, "This is never going to happen." And I at the time I said, "Yeah, you're probably right, Dad. It's not gonna happen." But you know, it might not happen right now. They might try and push it right now, and people might fight against it. But just because it doesn't happen now doesn't mean to say it's not going to happen in another 10 years' time.
It won't happen in the form we are being told it's going to happen this time, because none of these things ever do. Because what we're in now, we don't realize it. We're in the bargaining phase. They've put their offer down of a digital ID that you would have to show to go into work. Our bargain is you can stick that up your fucking ass. So they will back away at some point, redraw something, and something else will come in under a different guise, a different name that either we don't notice or we just accept. Like I said, we're in that bargaining phase. What I would say is, UK-wise anyway, because these are the only two things I've got that I think are applicable to a digital ID. To say that it can't be stopped. Poll tax was stopped. We never went with the euro in the early 2000s.
True.
Those things were stopped fucking dead. And like the euro, Jesus, what a fucking miss we had there.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think there's ways to stop this. It's just, are the population now that different and now more subdued than they were in the early 2000s, to where you can get something like this passed with very little friction? I think we're a country divided for just this reason. I saw a great video actually. It was a great video just for, not necessarily for the content it was supposed to be bringing, but there was a guy walking through Manchester, I think he was, and he was just walking to different people, and he wanted like random approval things about Keir Starmer. For our American listeners, obviously Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Comrade Keir Starmer to his friends, cunt to everybody else. And he was just like random people he'd walk up to. Some people like, no, I don't want to be part of your video. Other people would walk up and say, "Oh, can I ask you a quick question?" And like, yeah. He said, "Oh, what do you think of Keir Starmer?" And some people are like, "I don't really know. I don't really pay any attention to politics," which I think is a huge amount of people. Then some people would go, "Worst Prime Minister ever had. Hate him." Nobody liked him. On the flip side of that, and I don't mean to pick this as a race thing, because there was a couple of people from a couple of different ethnicities that he asked, and they said, no, like, hey, he's a terrible prime minister, that type of thing. But there was a couple of people brown people that he interviewed, or that would speak to him. Two separate people couldn't speak English when he went to speak to them. and a third was like,
Keir, yes.
no, the third was like, I don't know who Keir Starmer is. I was like, what? He's like, our prime minister. He said, I don't know. I don't know. And this guy could speak English. He's like, I don't know who Keir Starmer is. That's that's wild, Oliver.
It is probably a good thing because
Never
he'll
a
never
good
have
thing.
he'll never have to deal with it.
Ollie, I would imagine knowing your prime minister, king, president, that's like, if it's not the first part of integration into a society, it's definitely in the first 3 chapters.
Mate, my 9-year-old knows who the prime minister is.
Yeah. But it's just, that's the, like I said, that's the problem, and it's the problem with mass immigration. I'm not saying he's an illegal immigrant at all. Something like 1.5, is it 1.5 million a year or something like that are imported into the UK?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And it's, again, I brought this quote up a load of times with stuff when it comes to immigration. And it's that Douglas Murray quote was like, diversity is a good thing. Awesome. Show me the study that explains to me how much diversity before it becomes a negative. Show me the study of how, right, okay, migration is a net positive. Awesome. I like net positives. Show me the statistics of when migration becomes a net negative. You can't just say this is a positive, because if you can't show me the negative, then you don't fully understand the positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of immigration, we were talking this lunchtime, and I think one of the ways to push it in, if you had something happen extremely terrible, which I fucking hope doesn't happen in the UK, or anywhere
Are you suggesting,
anywhere
Oliver,
that's trying to push this digital
are
ID,
you
any country.
suggesting that there could be some sort of false flag initiated by a government or rogue agency connected to the government?
I mean, I'm just talking make believe at the minute.
You sound like some sort of conspiracy theorist, Ollie, and I don't like it.
Bit of story time.
Story time with Ollie. Yay!
Can you imagine though? And it was like, well, we did. You know, this is on the table, people. Do you want it now? Do you want it now?
I'd prefer it if they asked, do I want it all twice, and then ask if I want it now.
Because I don't trust, and nor should anybody trust government. Anybody that trusts any government is a fucking moron. Any of the parties is the parties that I tend to look at and go, they seem pretty switched on. Seem to be singing, you know, the hymn book that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Do I trust them? No. Don't think you should.
Was it Bill Hicks? Was it Bill Hicks, or was it?
Do you mean Alex Jones?
Yeah. I think it was George Carlin, actually. It was either Bill Hicks or George Carlin said that anybody that decides to be... Oh, no, maybe it wasn't even either of those. Maybe it was actually somebody else. Anyway, there was a quote saying that is anybody that decides they want to run for government should be instantly disqualified for being capable of doing so.
It should be something. It should be something that's like, right, we've got a lot of
people. Power should be a burden. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, when you go back like hundreds of years, thousands of years, when you've got tribes, and you have like a head of a tribe, that's sole job is to make sure the rest of the tribe survive through the winter. That's not something that people get in line to do. That's something that the person that's most capable of it, he does it. Mm-hmm. Not because enough people voted for him to do it, but because he had to do it, because he knew he was the most capable, and everybody around him knew he was the most capable.
A lot of our audience are American, Lee. Do you see this ever coming to light in America?
Yeah, I do. This is the. I don't think, and it might be last. But if it can happen in the UK, and if it can happen to Europe, it can happen to America. That's the thing. And like Americans would go, no, America's too big, and there's too many states and stuff. You only
Freedom,
need
baby.
You only need big cities. If big cities fold, because I don't get me wrong, that would be that's the beauty of a large country and I do think even amongst a system like this, you will get like the outlanders. Do you know what I mean? I've always thought, and this came to me during COVID. It was when everyone was getting vaccinated, and it looked like the ID system was coming in to stay. I thought I didn't see it affecting work, but I did see it affecting socialization, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna kind of be a social leper then, because I'm not doing this. I'm not being bullied into it. Then it was travel. I thought I'd come to terms with the fact I was going to live the rest of my days out on the island I come from.
Mm-hmm.
That was right. Okay, if that's the way it is, if that's the way my future holds, that's then no more holidays, no idea of no thoughts of maybe leaving the island at some point. I'll stay here. I'll stay here because it's the morally right thing to do. Is the way I thought of it. The morally right thing to do is to say no. And I mean, who knows what things. The only thing that crept in my mind was, would these people be vicious enough to stop people seeing their children if they didn't do it? And that was the real. And I think it shows how serious I was taking, and maybe how over the top I was about it. But that popped in my mind. But then it made me realize that when I watch these dystopian films, like I don't know if June's got one, but I know like the Judge Dredd, for instance,
mm-hmm.
when you went out of Mega City and it was like all fucking sand dunes and sand dunes and punks with fucking spikes on their shoulders. I've always watched stuff like that, and I thought, how do people get there? Like what happens? What makes people decide? As shit it is as it is inside the walls.
Yep.
What makes people be outside? And that's when I realized, oh, the vaccine could put people on the outside. Digital ID
does it, doesn't it?
Yeah, digital ID could put people on the outside.
I can see people setting up their own little communities. Do you know what I find fucking wild? And I got told this. A mate of mine was telling me about this. So his allotment. He has an allotment, and they want to take the allotment land. It seems like they want allotments gone. Where people grow their own fruit and veg. And then we got talking about things like, do you remember? It's like some people still have like a wooden fire, coal fire, and stuff like that as a thing. But you do, yeah. They don't want you having that.
No, they don't.
They really do not want it because it's a fire hazard, Lee. Because it's a fire hazard.
No, it's
or
no,
is it?
No, they're open about it. That it's because they can't meet their net zero targets while people are still burning solid fuel.
Okay, right. Okay, that chestnut, yeah. Or is it because they don't want you to be able to make your own food and be able to make yourself warm without relying on them?
I think there's an element of that. I think there's an element of that. I think there's also an element of these people have probably got major shares in gas companies or subsidiary companies to gas companies and electric companies. I think if you can make sure everything's bought metered, the funny thing that just dawned on me there as well was what you said before about how the digital currency is the enemy of it. Ironically, digital currency, I believe, decentralized digital currency, and I'm not a crypto guy. I own no crypto. I made all the crypto mistakes. I should have been on this train fucking years ago. I think that's the only way out of it if this happens.
What, digital currency?
Yeah.
You're going to have to explain that to me like I'm 4.
Because if you get a decentralized digital currency like Ethereum, Bitcoin, fucking any of the coins, you can then have your Coinbase app. You can there are places out there now that take Bitcoin as currency, unless Bitcoin is a is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's what ends up being the centralized digital currency that there. But if it stays like this decentralized digital currency, that means you can have your crypto app on your phone, and it's you've been debanked. Fuck you! I don't use fucking fiat currency. I use fucking crypto. I get paid in crypto. Why should I be fucking worried about you debanking me? I don't have a bank account. I'm my bank now. That's what crypto is.
Could they not bring digital ID in to get you crypto?
No, I mean
in the crypto app.
I mean, no, you would have to ban crypto because it's decentralized. So you're fuck. I'm not the guy to speak to about this. So like MetaMask is another one, which is that's another wallet, because you don't. That's where your crypto is, in the wallet,
right?
So they would have to go like this a huge way to ban crypto, and there's an awful lot of money in it. And don't get me wrong, parts of me would think to myself whether is crypto going to be like Barings Bank on steroids, when essentially or everybody suddenly realized that it's got absolutely no value whatsoever and it just all comes tumbling down. But that's the way around it. I've already thought about it, and I know actually, yeah, that if push comes to shove, I could make sure I'm being paid in crypto next week. I could do that.
Right. What about, though, in order to go to the supermarket, to fuel the car up, whatever, don't matter what you're spending, you still need to scan your digital ID card beforehand?
No, because this is the thing. They would have to insist places do it. This is where we'd end up with a black market. You would end up with a black market of people selling and buying and selling goods.
Getting your fruit and veg on the.
I mean, well,
on the dark net.
Kind of. It depends if they brought it in where you were literally blanket. You couldn't buy or sell without the digital ID card. That's a much stronger position than you can't work. That's a plethora of steps further down the line. Then look, if you get a new job, because that's the thing with this, what I should say is, if the digital ID thing comes in, it doesn't mean that if you have it, you won't be able to go to work the next day if you don't take it. It's if you get a new job, your next employer will be obliged to check for your digital ID, which is fucking bullshit, because we already have national insurance numbers. That's what so your employer is obliged to make sure you've got a national insurance number. That's the same as a digital ID. That's why this whole plan falls apart in people's faces, is because it doesn't matter if someone's if someone's paying like a legal immigrant £4 an hour to lay bricks for them. They haven't asked for their national insurance number, so they're not going to ask for their digital ID. It makes no sense. Like there is no way that this does any of what it's supposed to do at all, ever.
Unless cash is gone.
But that's no, because again, because that cash being gone doesn't necessarily matter either. Because you can still pay people into a Revolut account or a bank account if they're a legal
well, also I suppose you could get them to do labour for you and say, right, what do you need? I need a weekly shop. I need this, that, and the other. Right, do this job for me. I'll get it for you.
Do you know what? It's good you say that. There's a good video here that I will play. I wasn't actually going to play it because we're getting a bit far into the episode. But with what you've just said, you've kind of just said what this guy brings up. So I can't remember what this guy's name is. I think it might be, if you watch on the screen, I'm going to try and see because his TikTok was really good and people should go follow him.
I'm loving the plasticine Keir Starmer.
Yeah, it's at Glue Boy at DELWBOY on TikTok. He's like, I really like this video. People should go check him out.
You will get a digital ID. You have no choice. But what if we do? Imagine if the whole of the UK decided not to sign up to the mandatory digital ID. Here's what would happen in the first 30 days. And by day 30, that's when the story really begins. Day 1, the rollout begins and nobody signs up. Millions are expected overnight, but online portals sit empty, mate. The press call it a national act of defiance, and the government are just sitting there looking shocked. Day 2 to 4, the system stalls, but people start to adapt. Pharmacies go off book, doctors start handwriting notes, employers paid cash in hand. On the ground, life goes on, just not in the way Labour planned it. Day 5 to 7. Benefits freeze, universal credit, pension, child support, but communities rally. Church halls, mosque, community centres turn into aid hubs. The state may hold the money, but people take care of their own. Day 8 to 12, the media splits. The Mirror and the Independent call it sabotage, but independent outlets call it for what it really is, a proper strike, mate. Here goes Keir Starmer on the news saying, parents should be thinking about their children. To the public, that man just sounds desperate. Day 13 to 17. Flights cancelled, Brits can't travel because their passport's invalid without a digital upgrade. Tourism collapses, airlines bleed, and the pound dips. Foreign commentators start paying attention, asking, are the UK boycotting their own government? Day 18 to 21. Hospital strain. Appointments carry on, but surgeries and prescriptions start to back up. But doctors and nurses are on this thing too, so they start whispering about breaking some rules. Here comes Starmer again. This is reckless, this is dangerous. Ain't that what we're trying to tell you? Day 22 to 25. Cash in hand spreads. Employers, landlords, shops, they all start leaning off the book. Official trade slows, the underground network grows. And the public keep moving, even though the government are looking real stuck right now. Day 26 to 29. Parliament fractures as protests surge. Labour MPs face a social blackout. No one will talk to them, no shop will serve them, not even a handshake. Thank Ireland for this one. Day 30. A full month in, the refusal holds. System stalled, the economy bleeding, and the government cut off by the people. And the whole world sits waiting and watching. Who will break first? Turns out making digital IDs mandatory wasn't a strength, it was a weakness. And the whole system collapses the moment people stop playing along. But that was just the first month. Wanna know what happens on month 2? Drop a comment below and follow if you're done watching passively. We decode the myth and we don't clap for crumbs.
Great video.
Yeah, so go follow that guy and go check out the 30 Days After. I haven't watched it yet.
Sounded pretty cool, didn't it? Like, you can imagine like communities coming together. People like you just go to your local supermarket. People paying in like cash and like
Hand jobs.
mass fucking discount hand jobs. Yeah, hand jobs fucking galore.
My hands are like fucking too meaty and used. Like no one's gonna want this. They want smooth.
I can only hold small dicks, so.
The only thing I've got going for me is like I'm quite strong, so I can go for a while.
Noted.
just in case I have to like get goods, you know.
I'll remember that the next time we get a bus to London.
Look, if it means I don't have to pay. Look, it's a fucking wild one, isn't it? It kind of came out of left wing as well. Like it did come out of left wing, literally.
Yeah,
But
literally.
the thing with it was like when Starmer said, "Oh, I've got an announcement to make." I genuinely, there's a little bit of me thought, you fucking resigning, stepping down.
I thought that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is though,
only for a minute, and then I saw the rumors of digital IDs.
Even I saw the fucking beast that is the BBC, beast in a bad way, actually fucking asking Keir Starmer some questions that actually, he didn't like them. It seems like it seems like the whole fucking country seems to be on board with this being a bad idea, and it's only Labour.
I think it's more the case of even institutional like deep cuts like the BBC can see, because like don't forget, like people will turn around and say, "Oh, the BBC just a fucking Labour mouthpiece." You go, yeah, but they were a Tory mouthpiece before that, and if Reform get in, there'll be a Reform mouthpiece as well, because
they're a government mouthpiece.
It's purely from the fact that they're government sponsored. Like that's we have a government sponsored
and
radio
pharmaceutical
station.
Sponsored.
Yeah, we have a government sponsored radio station over here, even on a small island like this. If you like, as far as like fucking, let's say that when they get interviews of politicians over here, as far as like the questions that you actually want asking, it's pretty fucking softball most of the time. I think the BBC sees Labour as a sinking ship.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So the BBC, and to be fair to it as an institution, is 100% within its rights to go. We have seen administrations come and go. Labour will be gone, a new government will come in, a new government will come in after that, and we will still be here because of the way it operates. So that's kind of what I think that will happen there. What did just dawn on me though was the fact that you're like we've already spoken the fact that Tony Blair has had a wide on for digital IDs for quite a long time, and when he first brought digital IDs up, what we need to remember is like we look at Tony Blair as like Tony Blair, the beginning of uncontrolled immigration into the country, the beginning of fucking never-ending wars with the special relationship with the US. It's we like Tony Blair, war criminal, are words that you see connected to each other quite a lot. What we need to remember is that Tony Blair, back in the early 2000s, pretty cool prime minister when we were younger.
Yeah,
I can't think of a prime minister in my lifetime which the public warmed to as much. Like people were fucking down with Tony Blair. So if maybe his star was starting to like dull a little bit then, but the thing is, like, if he couldn't get a if he couldn't get a digital ID off the ground, then what chances do you think Keir Starmer has of doing it when he's already hated by the country, already statistically the most unpopular prime minister that Great Britain has ever seen?
Well, this'll explain, and I want to play this for like our American audience that might not understand this. So Tony Blair has just come out to address the UK in person because, lo and behold, no one is listening to Keir Starmer. So here we go. Let's hear from the Blairmeister himself.
We cannot continue with business as usual, and change is inevitable. This is where technology, like digital ID, becomes critical. My institute's own analysis shows that introducing this in the UK would save at least $2 billion a year and likely more by reducing losses to fraud, improving tax collection, and better targeting of state support. We know this because around the world, countries like Estonia, Singapore, even India, have successfully implemented digital ID systems, cutting red tape and improving efficiency. These nations aren't just adopting new technology. They are reimagining how the state itself works. Of course, concerns about privacy and security are valid, but these systems, done in the right way, actually give individuals more control over their own data. With robust safeguards and transparency, we can ensure that digital ID enhances rather than threatens personal privacy.
So there you go. And also,
First of all,
right back to his son that's got that little
Yeah.
company that's making gonna make an absolute packet from this.
First of all, Tony, I'd like to say how handy it is that your institution came to the conclusion that this is a fabulous idea. Second of all, if you're going to use Singapore as a reference for countries with digital ID, I'll take Singapore's digital ID if you can guarantee me the living standards, the cleanliness, and the fucking lack of crime in Singapore. Like, Singapore is quite fucking literally one of the most advanced places to live in the fucking world. So let's not pretend that we have anything in common with Singapore. Our
I mean, I
noodles
don't know a lot about
shit.
Singapore, Lee, but
Just nod your
other
head,
than
agree.
the noodles,
And the slings.
slings.
Singapore sling. It's a cocktail.
Oh, never had it, which is
No.
surprising actually.
Would you like a cocktail?
Not really, but I've tried most of them.
Right, okay. I'm glad you finished it with that. I was like, well, surely it would be surprising.
No, I have had one of those Singapore slinger. Call it a
What?
slinger, not a sling.
Okay, but the correct name for the cocktail is Singapore sling.
Slinger.
No, the correct name for the Singapore sling is a Singapore sling. It's not. It's just fucking not. Just because you've had one in like the fucking sheep's armpit, like.
I think it was Magaluf actually. So you're
It's
pretty
the same
close
thing,
there with
yeah,
the
yeah.
sheep's armpit.
It's like so instead of going to the home of the chavs, you just went where the chavs go on holiday.
Been a few times actually as well. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Ibiza as well.
I did my stag doing a beaver.
Of course you did.
True story. It was bloody brilliant.
I don't know why. I don't know why I even had to pretend I had to guess that. Ollie, should we land this ship? Or
Let's land it, mate.
we done talk about digital ID. Thanks for listening, people. Thanks as always. Oh, cool thing to know. We are currently. I might as well give you the like the real fucking up to date fucking numbers. So we still need to work out exactly what we're going to do. But we have officially crossed the threshold of the countdown to 1 million streams on Spotify.
Shit, the bed.
We are currently sat at 902,300, if that's how you say the word. We'll just say 902,000. Because I always say what numbers, as soon as numbers start getting so big, and then I get like awkward as fuck with it because I don't quite know how to say them. And be gone.
It's the cat scratching the door. Chuck the sock at it.
So yeah, no, but we're gonna have to. So when we hit a million streams on Spotify, we have to do something. We're gonna have to work out. I think we'll probably do a live stream. And I think we'll probably
be nice to have everybody to be able to watch the live stream.
Oh yeah, we'll do an open live stream, and we will find a way to pick 1, 2, maybe 3. 3's a podium. Let's do 3. What do you reckon? We'll make a special T-shirt for it, and like 3 people listening will get a one-off T-shirt for our thing.
Sounds like a plan, Lee.
Sounds nice. It sounds like a good thing to do.
Giving something back. I like it.
Like HIV.
Yeah.
Giving something that someone can keep.
I know. The show's about to end, Kat.
Yeah. I feel really bad there. I feel really bad saying that just in case anyone out there is really sick. Sorry.
If you've got AIDS... No, if you've got HIV, you haven't got AIDS, so there you go.
Every cloud.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do that. Links down in the description for all the other stuff. If you want to go and buy one of our normal T-shirts, that'd be great for you to do that. As we said at the top of the show, if you're bored of the adverts that you just heard through this show that keep the lights on, then you can help keep the lights on in your own personal way by signing up to the Patreon, and that will help us immensely. Ollie, is there anything anything I can think of that we're going to talk about? We'll probably tomorrow. We're probably going to talk about. I can give a rundown the rest of the week. We're going to address some of these drone incursions. I think, unless something else major happens in the next 24 hours.
We're going to have to speak about fucking Free AI Atlas.
Yeah,
which I'm pretty sure was AI Atlas.
I'm pretty sure that as well. Well, look, we're approaching the. Do you know the wild thing is, right? I know we're ending the show. I know I could keep this till tomorrow, but is it not just a bit freaky that the alien invasion might be happening around like Halloween?
I never thought of that, but
the 21st, it arrives in our solar system. I think that's when it gets behind the sun. So it is, depending on the speed of the said spaceship, it is 100% believable that we could have like a Halloween invasion.
Also, it's the date that it is in our behind our sun is the date of the last episode of Invasion on Apple.
Oh fuck, that's wild. That's some timing for you.
I think it is anyway.
Yeah, so we'll probably hit that on like tomorrow. We'll have that for you, and then at the end of the week on Thursday, our friend, your friend, the racist retard, Danny from the Rabbit Hole podcast is back with us. So yeah, make sure you tune in for the rest of the week because we've got a good week planned for you. We've always got good weeks planned for you. And Ollie, say something funny.
I already took us out with AIDS.